and he hasn't elevated his roster like the guy we're going to talk about next, Joe Cool. They're calling him Baby Brady out here. And are the Bengals the 0-1 Patriots? I keep hearing this in the sports news cycle. You have the let me tee you up now.
Fuck no. But go ahead.
We have this nice young, cool, calm, collected quarterback. Playing against all the odds. Playing with house money, and now they're playing against the high flying Rams team, kind of like the Patriots. And the Rams are a big favorite in this game. I mean, some books had it up to 4.5. Not nearly as big as the Rams were against the Patriots.
They were like 12.5, something like that.
Yeah, it was like 12.5, 13-point favorites.
Yeah.
And, some people can say the Burrow may start this run, start this dynasty. Do you think the Bengals are we talking about the Bengals or the 0-1 Patriots here, man?
We're talking about the Bengals, man. Come on. That's who we're talking about. First of all, there's no similarities. And I'll tell you why. Outside of the fact that Joe's in his second year. That's the only comparison that we can make with him and Brady. There's no other comparison. Tom was a game manager at the time. They had a top 5 defense. And it proved to be a dynasty defense. He does not have that. He's got a scrappy defense. The Bengals defense is scrappy. I will give them that. They are scrappy because I think Hendrickson, it's so weird. I really wanted him on the Falcons. And I remember, obviously, last year when he was with the Saints and just previously, man, he was always getting back there. Because if it wasn't Will Smith, it was fucking him. So, not Will Smith.
No, mustache guy, Cam Jordan.
Yeah, Will Smith. Will Smith used to get back there too. Man, he rests in peace. But nonetheless, no, they're just in short though. They're not similar teams. Those teams, they're just completely different to me. If anything, like I said, I kind of look at the Bengals. They were, and this team didn't make the Super Bowl, but I even said it going into the AFC Championship game. This Bengals team more so reminds me of kind of that Andrew Luck team that he took to the AFC Championship. Young, talented, quarterbacks playing great ball. They just got stuffed by the Patriots. But then again, apparently they were the ones deflating balls in that game. So who knows? Maybe if those balls weren't getting deflated, we don't know. Maybe the Colts went to the Super Bowl that year. I don't know. But what we do know is that the balls were getting deflated. And so that was proven. And so they even had a guy named the Deflator. I'm sorry. I'm trying to shit on the Patriots a little bit. God, then they came back and beat us. But nonetheless, no, I just don't think that there's a comparison to be made there. I think that Joe is Joe. He is Joe Cool. He is Joe Brr, he's legit. That's him. And I think that he's somebody that is very good at going against people when they're going against him. I saw a video of him the last game he ever lost in college. If you remember, they played here. I am. But that kind of just threw me off there. I'm not going to lie.
Sorry, bro. It threw me off when I saw it. Here, let me just show you these other comments. I can't read this.
That's probably why I asked, are you from Saudi Arabia? You just copy, paste, and Google it. Nonetheless, the last game that he played here, he got lit up. He took a big hit by UCF because that was the year I think UCF went undefeated.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, he took a big hit, and they showed him kind of getting rocked, and nobody kind of coming to his defense. And obviously, that motherfucker came back out the very next year and was just throwing that bitch, just tossing it around.
Well, did you hear the stories about him fighting in practice? Apparently, there's a story back when he was at LSU. There was a fight that broke out, and it was offense versus defense. He couldn't get in, and later in practice, he found Patrick Queen and wanted his fair one.
Really?
Yes. That boy built different.
Yeah, well, he's a tough son of a bitch. I think we know that. We definitely know that. He's a tough SOB.
So, question about Burrow. If Burrow goes out, throws for 350, 3 tubs, right? It's convincingly the Super Bowl MVP. Do we elevate him as the best quarterback in the league? I mean, because look what he's dragging. Look what he went through. He's beat Patrick Mahomes 2 times in a row. And there's a legitimate conversation for him to be the MVP. and this isn't hindsight. I was talking about it towards the end of the season. Like, look what he's doing. I mean, he's elevating a lot more talent, a lot, a worse roster than what Aaron Rodgers is doing over in Green Bay. And if he goes on this run, I mean, you got to beat a man. To beat a man, you got to beat the man, and he beat the man.
I think
can we put him in that conversation and it be legitimate and not just clickbait?
I think you throw him in the combo, but you don't crown him. I mean, he's definitely say top 5 for sure. I can give you that. I'll give you that if he can get it done. Hell, even if he don't get it done, I think that you can start entertaining that conversation for sure already in his second year. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to give him the Giannis type shine because, once Giannis won, everybody looked at how accomplished he was at such a young age, which is very true. Giannis he's a great basketball player. But for us to still sit here and act like, and it's a little bit apples and oranges, A, because it's basketball, but then B, you're the toast of the town if you won a championship, especially somewhere you're not supposed to win it, which is where they kind of draw similarities because it's Milwaukee versus, Cincinnati. I mean, these are two places in the Midwest that don't win, haven't been known to be winners, smaller cities. And so I do think that something like that, you could entertain it. But in terms of him being the best, no, I wouldn't make him the best. He's still not better than Rodgers. And now with Brady gone, potentially, he definitely can get slotted into that top 5, sure.
So is he the best quarterback in the game today, in the game Sunday?
That's a tricky question. I'm going to say no.
So Matthew Stafford, top 5 quarterback in the NFL today.
Well, I'm not saying that Joe Burrow is. I'm saying if Joe Burrow wins, we can. I wouldn't have put Joe Burrow going into the playoffs even as well as he had been playing going into it. I wouldn't have put him in the top 5 either. I think Matt Stafford, again, is somebody too now with Brady gone, because we're losing quarterbacks now. So it really is the end of an era kind of in the NFL. I mean, think about it. Another Falcons reference. Matt Ryan is the active passing leader in the NFL. So think of it that way. I mean, that is where we're at in the NFL to where now I remember rookie Matt Ryan. And now you mean to tell me he's the active leading passer and it's by about 6,000 or 7,000 yards. And Aaron Rodgers is second to him. So it's just like it's the changing of the guard in the NFL. And I just think that it's too early to kind of crown somebody like Burrow. And a guy like Stafford has kind of put in the work, at least statistically he has. But I think that in a weird way, for legacy purposes, and some people might not agree, I think that a Super Bowl for Matt Stafford would be more impactful than it would be for Joe Burrow if he won in his second year.
Absolutely. But I think that a Super Bowl for Joe Burrow is like a bigger deal, like if we're talking like whole like wide scale, right? Now, for Matt Stafford's career, Matt Stafford's legacy, I think the Super Bowl means way more for Matthew Stafford because Rob Parker calls him Stat Padford.
Some of these guys and these goddamn ways of putting words.
Hey, I like Rob Parker. But